Good afternoon. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us at the 21st Annual Lighting the Path Luncheon. I'm Teresa Kometz, and I'm excited to be here with you today. We're thrilled that you could join us this day to celebrate and to listen to the stories of women in our community. I get the pleasure today to introduce and thank some very special people, and I would like to start with the Women United Committee. So as I say your name, will you please stand and stay standing? Our chair, Luciana Solis, Christine Foley, Jenny Thurber, Leah Ann Scherer, Jamie Rabe, and Jamie Taylor. Thank you, ladies. Now, normally, our Women United chairperson, Luciana, would be up here to explain the purpose of Women United. But unfortunately, Lucy had some dental work yesterday, so I'll be stepping in for her today. I do wish to thank her for her leadership. She has led this small and mighty committee that has made a difference in our local community. So, what is the purpose of Women United? Women United engages the power of women around a signature issue in the capital area. Women United provides support to middle school aged girls during a very critical time in their lives. They help to build the capacity of United Way to address the signature issue. And they provide a forum for year-round engagement and volunteer opportunities that advance our work with middle school aged girls. And today, we celebrate 21 years of this initiative. I'm pleased to share that during this current funding cycle, 6 local programs that focus on middle school girls who come from a variety of backgrounds and family situations received funding. Through your generous donations, those programs received a total of $61,000 alone this year. And we can all be proud of the fact that during all the years of this women's initiative, we have invested nearly $500,000 in this community for programs that support middle school aged girls. Thank you for what you do. As you may have heard, we're extremely excited to announce the merger of Capital Area United Way with United Way of the Battle Creek and Kalamazoo region and United Way of Jackson County to become United Way of South Central Michigan. We're excited for what this means for our local community. It means more collaboration, more resources to help our community succeed. And it means events like this one will continue. All the funds raised locally will stay local, making a difference for families, individuals in our community. Your support will continue to help local programming in our community, like those that are featured over here, continue and thrive. I encourage you to visit the informational tables of the 3 funded partners set up over by the wall. Joining us today, we have the pleasure of having the new Chief Executive Officer for United Way of South Central Michigan, Chris Sargent. Our Chief Impact Officer, Alyssa Stewart. And our board chairperson, who may be known to some of you. We're fortunate to have Bob McConnell serve as the first board chair of United Way of South Central Michigan. Thank you, Bob. I'd like to extend a special thank you to our United Way team who happen to be in the room, who have helped plan, set up, man this event. If our United Way team could stand to be recognized. Mary's in the back. Thank you all. I'd like to thank our MC today, Representative Sarah Anthony, State Representative from Michigan's 68th House District, who will take over. Right after lunch, we'll be able to hear from Sarah. And I wish to thank today's sponsors for underwriting and promoting today's event and demonstrating your support of United Way and our Women's Initiative. Please stand and stay standing, those of you at the following tables: Michigan Education Association, Davenport University, MSU Federal Credit Union, Clark Construction, who is our signature sponsor, Andrews Hooper Pavlik PLC, who is the co-sponsor of our Power of the Purse raffle, and Clerical Technical Union of Michigan State University, also a co-sponsor of the Power of the Purse raffle. Thank you. Thank you for your commitment. And I would be remiss if I did not say thank you to Lansing Community College for the special gift, the notebook at your table. We hope that you'll take it with you and that you will remember this event every time that you use it. And now I would like to introduce Ms. Leah Ann Scherer, Women United Committee member and advocate of young women, for a few words of reflection prior to lunch. Leah.
All right, hello everyone. If we can just bow our heads. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day that you have made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you for bringing us together in person this year for this great event. We thank you for the fellowship, friendship, food, and the funds that will be raised from this event to support women and middle school age girls. Bless everyone in this room who came out today to give their support. We ask that you continue to bless our Mayor, Andy Shore, Representative Sarah Anthony, and Speaker Linda Sanchez-Gonzalez and their families as they work diligently for the residents of Lansing. Father God, we ask that you continue to bless Judge Cynthia Ward and her family as she continues to make the best decisions from the bench. Bless the food that we are about to receive for the nourishment of our bodies. Bless the hands that prepared it. Thank you for this day, Lord, and we ask all these things in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen.
Thank you, Leah Ann. One bit of housekeeping before I turn you over to your lunch, and that is that the restrooms are along this side, up towards the front. We've had a few questions, wanted to make sure you knew that. Please enjoy your lunch, and our MC representative, Sarah Anthony, will begin our program around 12:30. So thanks and enjoy.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. We'll go ahead and resume our program, and it is quite an honor to serve as the MC for the 21st Women United Lighting the Path Luncheon. Please give yourself a round of applause for being here today. Well, this is pretty cool. This is exciting. This is one of my favorite luncheons, favorite events that our community does. because it celebrates the achievement of women, volunteerism, and United Way's continued commitment to lighting a path for the next generation of women. So I am honored to be here. My name is Sarah Anthony, and I proudly serve as state representative for the 68th House District, which, for now, includes the city of Lansing and Lansing Township. It has been an honor, thank you. It has really been an honor to serve in this capacity. And as a part of this role, I get to do amazing things, like be asked to be at these very fancy luncheons and network with a whole lot of amazing women and a few good men in the room. So thank you for allowing me to be here today. Now, I've got good home training. And so the first thing I'd love to do is to acknowledge some of our elected leaders who are in the room. So I know I see a couple of Lansing's amazing mayors. So Mayor Andy Shore, let's give him a round of applause. As well as our former mayor, Dave Hollister. Now, these two gentlemen also served as state representative representing Lansing, but we also had an amazing woman who really blazed a trail for me. Former State Representative Joan Bauer is also here. Now, I know I'm going to get in trouble, but if there's any other elected leaders in the room, would you please rise? Oh, hello! Thank you for being here. Also, I know that we have Judge Ward here, but we will give a formal presentation regarding her bio. We also have Delta Township Clerk Mary Clark, who is here. Thank you for being here, Mary. So, one of the things that Teresa stated earlier is that this is an exciting year for the Capital Area United Way, as we have merged with the United Way of Battle Creek and Kalamazoo region and the United Way of Jackson County to become the United Way of Central Michigan, South Central Michigan. You will be happy to hear yet again that important events like this very luncheon will continue to support the programs for our local residents. And that's a really important thing for us to note, to keep the local identity of our community as a part of these luncheons. One of the things that I wanted to draw your attention to on the back of your program are the past speakers for this luncheon. And as I was looking over this list, this is a list that should inspire each and every one of us. Many of these women are not only in this room, but some have gone on and transitioned, and I consider many of these women my personal sheroes. Just take a look at that list. People in business, nonprofit, education, politics, folks like Joan Jackson Johnson and Olivia Letts, Lucille Beelan, Alyssa Slotkin, Gretchen Whitmer, Sandy Dragoo. Again, women from all walks of life who have stood right here and done amazing jobs as our speaker. So feel free to take this program with you. And if for any of the younger women in the room, I challenge you to Google some of these women. They're absolutely outstanding. So as Teresa mentioned earlier, you can feel proud of your role in that because of your support of Women United, nearly $500,000 has been granted to programs that directly improve the lives of thousands of middle school girls right here in our region. Hopefully, you got a chance to visit some of the programs funded through the Women United before the program started. Before we hear about the background stories from two more incredible female leaders from our community, we will be presenting the Paula D. Cunningham Lighting the Path Award. Now, 21 years ago, the Women's Leadership Council, now Women United, was formed to give women philanthropists an avenue to make strong impact on this community through the United Way. Stepping up as its first volunteer chair, Ms. Paula Cunningham helped form Women United in its early years. Her work helped make this initiative a success, and to recognize her leadership role, the Paula D. Cunningham Lighting the Path Award was created in her honor. I would now like to invite Ms. Cunningham to the podium to present this award to honor someone who has played a significant role in the mission of Women United. Paula?
Thank you. I hope someone recorded the comments spoken by about me from our next Michigan State Senator. A woman that I truly admire, Representative Representative Anthony. Our ancestors always knew that you were the future they never saw. So we're proud of you. We admire you, and keep going. And again, the next generation of leaders, just take a look at the journey that has been travailed by our state representative, Anthony. So thank you. You know, last Friday, I heard Dr. Cynthia Dillard say, we all need to remember who we were so that we can walk in who we are. We all need to remember who we were so that we can now walk in who we are. In 2002, I don't know who you were, but I do know that a path was being created to help you, to help all of us walk in who we are today. In 2002, no one even knew that there would be more than $500,000 in grants to programs that help middle school girls blossom into promising young women. And in 2002, no one knew that there would be both a Latina and an African-American Supreme Court justice, female. 20 years, yes, give them a round of applause. 20 years ago, as women, we may not have realized the value of our time, our talent, our treasure, and our vote. I didn't have a clue that there would be a Lighting the Path Award named in my honor, nor did I know that I'd have the distinct honor of working with so many incredible women with vision, compassion, and determination. I'm standing here today to present an award named after me, but it is the dedication, tenacity, and commitment of Teresa Kometz and her entire team that has continued to light the path for this next generation of leaders. We owe them a debt of gratitude. Please join me in giving them a round of applause to Teresa and her entire team. We had some lofty goals 21 years ago, but goals are only achieved if the passage continues. Goals are only achieved if the passage continues. So today's Lighting the Path recipient has continued to create that passage to help others. As a child, she worked in the migrant fields to help support her family. Being familiar firsthand with the struggles students face, she became a motivator and an advocate for several generations. Generations of students that assisted them to help them understand the future, help them not only understand, but also understand and see the future that lied before them, and that they could be anything that they wanted to be. You see, ladies and gentlemen, there is a call for women in every community, regardless of their circumstances, to dream like their daughters and to pray like their grandmothers. The journey isn't over just because you've arrived. Remember, goals are only achieved if the passage continues. So as an adult, our awardee fulfilled her goal of becoming a bilingual education teacher, which was a lofty goal for a migrant worker. Her perseverance and determination won out over every circumstance of her life. And as a result, not only has she been a successful teacher, but she also became a school administrator and leader, and she never lost sight of her goal and her desire to help other Latinx children and their families. She has worked tirelessly in the community, and she deserves to serve, and she has continued to serve on numerous United Way boards and committees, including the board of directors. However, with all of her success, she has never forgotten her dreams, her goals, her purpose, and her passion. She's never forgotten those who prayed for her and believed in her. And I submit to you today that she's never forgotten who she was, so that today she can walk in who she is and continue to help light the path for other young women. It is indeed my honor and one of my greatest honors to present this year's Paula Diane Cunningham Lighting the Path Award to a true warrior and a dear friend, Andrea Rodriguez. I'll carry the stack back there for you.
This is beautiful.
Isn't it gorgeous? So are you.
Oh. All righty. Thank you, Paula. You have been and continue to be a role model and an integral person in lighting the path and keeping the light burning. Thank you to United Way, Women United committee members, and to sponsors. Most of all, I'm grateful to each of you here present in this room and to the folks that are joining the Wi-Fi waves. I'm going to say hi to. So, hello, welcome. Your support of this annual event and other Women United events provides funding for community programs that help middle school youth. I would be remiss if I didn't send hugs and kisses to family and friends who are here and to those special people joining from far away, like Texas, California, Minnesota, Indiana, and New York. No. If I left out a state, mea culpa. You know who you are. Now, I'm going to try to do this, Betsy, but it's like, let me see. You go, hugs and kisses, right? The support I have received is breathtaking and breath-giving. I'm not sure where I would be. This Lighting the Path, Paula D. Cunningham Honor, comes at a point in my life of new beginnings. I can kick off this existence fresh and hot off the press. This truly feels like my first time speaking in front of people. I know. I am responsible, no, obliged, despite my old age, to continue walking, literally, and to have the power, or poder in Spanish, which means to have the ability, the capacity, and the energy to get something done, even if the steps are a little shorter and a little slower. Whether we can light a few matches, shine a flashlight, or build a huge bonfire, let's do however much we can to keep the beam of light shining. Of course, as a Marvel fan, I don't know if there's anybody else in here who, all right, there we go. I must end with some Avengers quotes. One by Uncle Ben to his superhero nephew. With great power comes great responsibility. And two, so long as life remains, there's always hope. And so long as there's hope, there can be victory. Do you know who that was? Wonder Woman. And three, no longer am I the woman you knew. I am fire and life, now and forever. I am Phoenix. A warm adios to the superheroes and heroines via internet and here in this room. Thank you.
Congratulations again. Since she paved the way for us nerds in the room, happy Star Wars Day to those who celebrate. May the 4th be with you. And now it's the moment that we've all been waiting for, our first featured speaker. Today's first speaker has served as judge at the 54A District Court since being elected in 2018. Judge Cynthia Ward moved to Lansing in 2002 to join the faculty at Cooley Law School. One of my favorite quotes from her when she was running for office is that you don't have to be born in Lansing to bloom in Lansing. Do you remember this quote? I love it. She became active in the community through her work at the Lansing Area AIDS Network and the City of Lansing Park Board. She is also involved in Cooley's Homelessness Assistance and Prevention Project, providing pro bono assistance when needed. Here to tell you much more about her service to the community, please welcome the Honorable Cynthia Ward.
Good afternoon, everyone. It brings me so much joy to be here with you today in person. I see so many of my friends, my chief judge and court administrator surprised me to be here today and join me today. And I also see people that I've known over the years who have been partners with me in our respective community and public service endeavors. I want to thank, I need to get the new name right, the United Way of South Central Michigan for the honor of being one of the speakers today. My heart is full with appreciation. And to the wonderful people who are joining us by live stream, I see you. Okay, well, I really don't see you. But I want to also extend to you my appreciation for you taking time out of your schedules to join us today. I know this event is a big deal, and I'm sorry to say it's my first time at this event. But let me share with you why and how I learned this was a big deal. Over the past month, as I've been moving more about the city, feeling comfortable going to different events, I would encounter people who would say, "Oh, I see that you're going to be the speaker at the United Way, at the Capital Area United Way Luncheon," and they assured me they would be there. But that wasn't the only reason why I knew it was a big deal. But because of the past couple of weeks, at least once a day, someone would say, "I heard you on the radio." The problem was I had not been on the radio, certainly not since my campaign in 2018. And on probing a little further, I learned that this event is such a big deal that it had been advertised on the radio, and many people heard my name referenced in the advertisement. And my intern, who just graduated from Davenport University this past week, shared with me that her grandpa in Ionia even heard my name mentioned on the radio. But there is another reason for my excitement today, and that's because I finally get to share the stage with the fabulous Linda Sanchez-Gazella. 2 years ago, Linda and I were selected to be part of the Lansing State Journal Storytellers Project. We were selected as Women of the Century Storytellers to commemorate the 100th anniversary of women's right to vote. And we were scheduled to go on stage on March 17, 2020, and because of the pandemic, that didn't happen. So I am certainly very happy to have this opportunity to share a program again with you, Linda. For 27 years, I have performed my work under the obligations of an oath. Licensed to practice law in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Michigan all require that I adhere to an oath. My oath of office as district judge requires that I support the Constitution of the United States, and that I support the Constitution of Michigan, and that I faithfully discharge the duties of my office. That oath was formally administered to me on December 19, 2018, and I live it every day. But how did I, the middle child of a high school dropout, get here today? Well, it wasn't easy, and it certainly wasn't of my own doing, solely of my own doing. I have had to overcome many obstacles, big and small, and I have had to defy very outspoken naysayers. I have shared stories of the many career obstacles in my prior talks, and the many times I've been told no, you won't, or you can't. Recounting the time early in my career when my supervisor told me that I would not win an aspect of a fair housing case where the judge ruled against me. I had been successful on all of the substantive issues raised in the case, but there was one procedural aspect of the case where the judge ruled against me, and I wanted to appeal it. My supervisor said, "You will not win. The judge has discretion." Well, Judge Buchanan and I know about discretion. Well, I appealed it anyway, and not only did I win, the case resulted in a published decision, which meant that the lower courts within that jurisdiction had to follow it as binding precedent. I've also previously shared the challenge of learning in a very difficult way, that having tenure didn't provide absolute job security, as I was unexpectedly laid off from my employment as a tenured law professor in August of 2014. Or even that time as a young middle school student who put great effort into her homework each week by creating thoughtful sentences for my spelling and vocabulary words, only to be told by the teacher, "Next time, don't copy sentences from the dictionary." And there were many, many more obstacles along the way. So yes, I have had quite the journey to stand before you today. But reflecting on my career over the last 25 years, I realized that there has been a common denominator that has lighted my path and opened doors of opportunity for me. I was encouraged by women. First, there was my mom, who raised me as a single mother and who sacrificed since the day I was born so that I would have a better life, and that I, as she would say in her own words, did better than she did. My mom encouraged me to pursue my dreams, and she assured me that I can be and do anything I wanted to do. I know that I'm very fortunate to have my mom still here with me today, and who continues to assure me that I can be and do anything I want to do. In 1997, just 3 years out of law school, it was a woman who said to me, "Cynthia, you have to apply for that job at Rutgers Law School. You would make an excellent law professor." I applied, I interviewed, and I was offered the job. Ultimately, it was a woman's encouragement that lighted my path to a rewarding career in legal academia, where I have had the pleasure of working at 2 separate law schools. In 2005, it was a woman who said to me, "I have observed your work and your thoughtful participation in the committee, and I want you to serve as acting dean of students during my temporary absence." I served in the acting capacity and never fully returned to my prior role as a new position was created for me. It was a woman's encouragement that lighted my path to expand my skills to higher education administration. And in 2017, there was an opening on the district court when I received a phone call and learned that a woman had recommended my name, believing that I would be a phenomenal judge. Because yet another woman lighted my path, I have had the great honor for the past three and a half years of serving the people of Lansing as district judge. It is a role with awesome responsibility, a role that I do not take lightly, for the decisions I make impact people's lives, livelihood, and sense of safety in the community. Women have spoken words to me throughout my career that have encouraged, inspired, and influenced. And I try to encourage, inspire, and influence from the bench. As a district judge, I sentence people for misdemeanor crimes committed in our community. That sometimes means I will sentence people to jail for a period of time for up to 1 year. But more often, I sentence people to a term of probation where they can participate in programming to get the help that they need to improve their lives and make better decisions. And when there is a young woman before me whom I perceive has lost her way, or a single mother for whom life has been too much of a struggle for her to manage without help, I take that opportunity to encourage the women to think about what they want for their future and what they want for the future for their children. I tell the women that they are not defined by the prior bad act that brought them before me, and I tell them that they can change the course of their future today. I know that I won't connect with everyone, but it costs me absolutely nothing to try. We have all heard the saying that actions speak louder than words, and I think that's largely true. But words have force, and we should speak them. We should breathe life into our thoughts and use our words to encourage and empower women and young girls to act. Because words inspire, words encourage, words influence, words convey empathy and understanding. Words tell a story of what is possible. And words comfort. And most notably and recently, I think of the comforting words spoken by U.S. Senator Booker to now Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson during her confirmation hearings. Senator Booker said, "Don't worry, my sister. God has got you. You have earned this spot. You are worthy." Those words were spoken to Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, but they were heard by women across our nation. It does not matter your job title or your stature, anyone can light a path. And I'll end with this. My judicial assistant and I are very close, but we do not discuss politics as we live on completely opposite ends of the political spectrum. But a few months ago, my judicial assistant said to me as I walked into chambers early one morning, barely having an opportunity to remove my coat, "Judge, I heard on the news last night that President Biden planned to nominate a black woman to the United States Supreme Court, and I have been racking my brain trying to figure out who I need to call so that I can make sure President Biden knows who you are." Words also support. Thank you.
Please join me in another round of applause for Judge Ward. Absolutely wonderful. Oh, my goodness. I think we have a small token. Judge Ward, would you mind coming back up? We'll pose by it anyways. Thank you again, Judge. Now, we are in the middle of budget season in the state capitol, so I promise that I'm running off not to go lollygag, but to run over to session because we will probably be there for a few late nights. So I'm going to transition it back over to Teresa Kometz, but again, thank you for the opportunity and enjoy the remainder of the luncheon. God bless you.
We are so fortunate to have Representative Anthony with us today. Thank you so much. And we're grateful for everything that you do to help our community be stronger. So thanks. I am thrilled to be back up here with you. And if you give me just 2 seconds, I'll figure out where I am. Okay. So I would like to introduce our next presenter. Our next presenter is what Lucy Solis, Women United Chairperson, calls a true Jedi, an advocate for justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion. She is the Human Resources Director for the City of Lansing. During her tenure, she has worked with the Hollister and Benavides administrations, and worked in the Lansing School District in many capacities, such as a homeschool visitor for the migrant program and a special education specialist. Her work to advance Hispanic business opportunities is well documented in the community. We're thrilled to have her back at the city. Please help me welcome Linda Sanchez-Gazella.
Well, thank you, everybody. It's a real honor to be here. A special big thanks to the Capital Area United Way and the Women's United Committee for inviting me to be here. I am very honored. So I'm going to start with a little about me. And I'm going to start out letting you know I'm a little bit nervous. I don't like speaking in big crowds. So they say you're supposed to imagine everybody in their underwear, right? Well, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try and stick to my notes and keep going. So thank you to Judge Ward. I understand she had to leave early. She, is wanted on the bench. So it was an honor. It was a inspirational talk that she gave. I really received it and enjoyed it. So a little bit about Linda. I was born a while ago in a hospital called Lansing General Hospital. Now, Lansing General Hospital has been renamed and relocated since then, but I was told that when you looked out the window of Lansing General Hospital, you looked out straight at our beautiful state capitol. So growing up, my dad always told me, Linda, you're going to work in politics. You're going to serve the community. And I'd laugh. I'd say, no, Dad, never ever, not me. But life goes on. So I'm going to ask a question. How many of you remember the knock-knock jokes, who's there? Any of you? Maybe some of the older ones. Okay. Well, that's how I would describe my life. That's pretty much how It went. I never knew who was going to be at my door knocking. Sometimes it would be something really funny, sometimes it would be an opportunity, and sometimes it would be a challenge. One of my earliest knock-knocks was from Cristo Rey Community Center. And when they knocked, they said, "Linda, we'd like for you to come and help our volunteer attorney at Cristo Rey who helps people in need. Will you come?" I said, "Cool, yeah, that sounds great. What an opportunity." So I went and I served, and you know what? I found that I really enjoyed helping people. So that was kind of the start of what I call my community activism and engagement. And I continued helping people. And life goes on. And, you know, I made some pretty bad mistakes. You know, they were life learning mistakes, I guess, right? So I got pregnant by the love of my life at age 20. I'd been dating him since I was 17. And, you know, I thought everything was going to be great. We'd get married, have a family, and that's the way life is supposed to be, right? Well, one day he told me he had to go to Mexico to see his mother, and I got a call that he was getting married. So, ladies, I was dumped. And what was I going to do? I came from a very large Hispanic family, the oldest of the oldest brother. So back then, it was a lot of shame. It was bad. So blessed to have the parents that I did, my mother who is here, who gave me the support, and I delivered a very happy baby boy. But you know, the gossip continued, and there was a lot of talk, and I said, well, what am I going to do? I should fix it. I should find a husband. So I did. I found a husband, and I got married. You know, that's the way you fix things, and gossip will stop. Well, it was not a good marriage. It was bad. But you know what? I delivered a very, very beautiful daughter that I'm very proud of. And marriage didn't last more than 3 years. It was really bad. But, you know, life continues. I continued to help the community, and I worked very hard, always trying to excel my career in the accounting department for the Lansing School District. It was during that time that I met yet another man. And I fell in love. And we got married, and together we had 2 more children, a girl and a boy. In this marriage, I inherited 3 undisciplined, unruly stepboys. So a piece of advice to the ladies here, do background checks, ladies. Oh my. But you know, I took those boys in and I raised them like mine. They were ages 12, 11, and 8. Unfortunately, during that marriage, my husband took on a different lifestyle, and I was left to raise the kids, mostly by myself. So I continued to raise my kids, help community whenever I could. I worked very hard and had moved from an accounting clerk to a junior accountant to an accountant's position with the Lansing School District. It wasn't easy. And remember, I was now a mother to 5 boys, 2 girls, and maintaining a household, and it came with its challenges, but I never gave up. I always kept my faith. So, during this time, another knock-knock comes to my door, and when I said, "Who is it?" they said, "It's the Michigan Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, Linda, and we'd like to invite you to a lunch at Ramon's Restaurant. We've invited some small businesses to come out too." I said to myself, "Oh, hot lunch, free, Ramon's? Yeah, I'm there." So I went, And I listened to the Michigan Chamber, Hispanic Chamber spiel, and then I spoke to the businesses there, and I said, you know what? I think it would be a great idea if you guys united and you could help other businesses start up and ones that are here stay strong. But you know what? I gotta go. My hour's up. See ya. And I left. And later on that afternoon, there was another knock knock. And when I said, who's there? They said, well, it's us, Linda, the Michigan Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. And we want to let you know that we are so delighted to let you know that you were elected the president of the newly formed Greater Lansing Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. I was dumbfounded. So what did I say? I said, okay. So, you know, life continues. And now, mind you, again, I am the mom to 7. I'm a full-time worker. I'm a community advocate. And I'm now president of the Greater Lansing Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Under my leadership and in partnership with the Michigan Hispanic Chamber, we did some very positive, creative things, which were a great accomplishment for many small businesses in Ingham County. I remain proud of those businesses that remained strong in the city from that day in the beginning. So, we're going on, and here comes another knock knock. And when I said, who's there? He said, it's Mayor David Hollister, and I'd like you to join my incoming team as Youth, Family, and Education Specialist. What an opportunity. What a challenge. I gulped. I said, you know, Mayor, I have something to tell you. And he said, well, what is it? I said, well, you know, I have all these kids, and they've been a priority, and I don't have my bachelor's degree. He said, Linda, he said, a bachelor's degree is something that you should attain in your life, but I still want you to come. So I gave a 30-day notice to the school district, and I went. But all the time I was thinking, can I do this? I was a nervous wreck. I said yes, and I took that step, and I've never, ever regretted it. So now I'm going to tell you a few stories of what it's like leaving an accountant's position at the Lansing School District and going into public life. 3 weeks into the job. 3 weeks, guys. 5:45 in the morning. Mayor was an early morning riser. My phone rings, and when I say hello, it's Mayor Hollister, and he says, Sanchez, are you up? I said, oh yeah, Mayor, I'm up. He said, well, great, because you need to be at the Quality Inn at 7:30. I'm double booked. And I said, great, what? Standard welcome? I had that down pat. He said, no, I'm speaking for 30 minutes. You can handle it, Sanchez. He said, it's on volunteerism. You got it. Click. So I get dressed, and I'm there on time, 7:30, and I spoke, and I said, you know, I know Mayor was supposed to speak for 30 minutes, but you're only going to get 30 minutes out of me if I translate what I just said into Spanish. That's it. So then we move forward, and life goes on, and I decided that I needed to start walking. It's a little bit stressful, so I started walking the Riverwalk. Somehow my lovely mother found out that I was walking early in the morning, and she told me, Linda, it's unsafe. You shouldn't be walking by yourself. I said, oh, Mom, please. The ducks and the rats are the only things that are out that early in the morning. So one day, on that particular day, I had been invited to do some words and a welcome to a convention that had come in on the south side of Lansing. And I was taking my walk, and I was coming back, and I was at the city market by the Vidocs. And I saw a light tan van just kind of creeping out, you know. And, you know, honestly, did I hear my mom's voice telling me to turn back? I did. But I said, you know, it's probably okay. It's probably city workers who would be out this early. So I kept trucking along, and the closer I got, the van sped out and stopped. And a guy with a mask got out of the driver's side. And a guy with a mask and a long gun got out of the passenger side. And they said, "Hands up in the air, you a-hole." I think, you know. So I closed my eyes. I put my hands in in the air and staggered back and forth, and your life kind of just goes before you. And then I started hearing a lot of commotion. And I finally peeked open one eye, and I saw that they had another a-hole against the van. And it was Metro. And they yelled at me, "Lady, go home." So I got there pretty fast. But I was very, very, very shaken up, but I knew I had this responsibility. I was supposed to be on the south side, giving a few words and giving a welcome to a big convention. So I put myself together. I was a nervous wreck, but I did get through it. And that's just responsibility when you have a mindset of you can do it. I don't believe in the word can't. So I did it. Now, moving on, Lansing has got its new Lugnuts Stadium, right? And we were also very proud. And Mayor Hollister and a committee decided to bring in a band called Muzz with the two big guys, Joe and Jimmy. Now, I knew, just from the little that I knew, that this band was renowned of not showing up. So that's the word that we got, maybe on a Wednesday of that week, that the band wasn't going to show up. This is a big Latino event that we're going to have at the Lugnuts Stadium. So I'm told, "Linda, you have to go to San Antonio. You got to bring back the band." I said, "Okay." So I jump onto a plane, and I contacted the manager, who was a female, and she told me what she looked like, and we agreed to meet at a famous restaurant called Mi Tierra in San Antonio. So I get there, and by that time it's about 8 or 8:30 p.m. And I said, "Okay, where's the band?" And she said, "Well, they're out playing a gig." And I said, "The contract says they're not supposed to play the night before because we're leaving at 8:30 tomorrow morning." She said, "Oh, well, let me show you your room." So she took me to the hotel, showed me my room, and I said, "Well, where's your room?" And she showed me, and I said, "Well, can I go in?" And I said, "I'm not leaving. I don't need my room," because I was so afraid that I was going to be left and she would take off, and then what am I going to do? So I sat in a chair. All I had was underclothing and my toothbrush and my makeup. And I was up all night. At 5 in the morning, I had gotten up and gotten her up and said, "Okay, come on, we got to go get the guys." So we got in a taxi and we went to the motel, and the guys are ready. I told them, get your equipment ready. I turned into this bossy woman. Get everything ready. We've got a plane to catch. Where is Jimmy and Joe? Well, Jimmy was there, and he said he wasn't going to go because he wasn't feeling well. So I talked to him, and he said, "Okay, well, maybe I'll go." I said, "Great. Where's Joe?" Nobody knew where Joe was. So one of the band members, I think he felt bad for me. He said, "I was with him last night when he got dropped off. I'll show you." So he jumped into the car and with the manager and myself, and he took us to where Joe was, to this house. So we get there, and I look at the manager like, "Get up, do something." And she's just looking at me like shrugging her shoulders. And so I took a deep breath, and I got out of the car, and I went up to the door, and I knocked. A nice lady, well, a nice looking lady with some really nice lingerie came to the door. And I said, "I need to talk to Joe." She said, "Joe's not here." I said, "I know Joe's here. Go get him." And she said, "Who are you?" I said, I'm Linda Sanchez from the city of Lansing. And if you think city of Lansing is just this small little town, well, we're not. And then I turned into somebody that I never knew that I was. You know, she's given me the look, okay? Ladies, you know what the look is. So I raised 5 kids, 5 boys and 2 girls, so I can give that look back when I'm responding. And I said, you see that Mercedes in your driveway and that big diamond ring on your finger? They're gonna be mine if you don't go get Joe. So she looked at me, she turned around, and the next thing I know, here comes Joe staggering out. I said, okay, Joe, we have a plane to catch. So by that, Jimmy didn't come, but Joe was the main one. I got them to the airport, we'd missed our flight, and I went from airline to airline to see who could accommodate us. Finally found one airline who agreed to take our original reservations, our confirmation, and get us into Detroit about 3:20. So accomplished that, got them onto the plane. We were supposed to have been into Lansing, called the Lansing Center, got a bus, was picked up, got the band in, got them to Lansing on time. Now, mind you, I'd been in the same clothes for more than 48 hours with one brush of teeth, you know, but we made it, Mayor Hollister, we had our event, but that's what your special assistant went through. He's never heard this story. So then Mayor promoted me to Chief of Staff. And then he made a career change and went to Governor Granholm, his administration. And it was during that time that I met a wonderful man. And I fell in love again. And he accepted my 7 children and my 18 grandchildren at that time. And we got married. Though I really, really think that he almost slipped off that hook. My youngest son had a girlfriend who lived on campus, and he visited her frequently at night. So had gotten a lot of tickets, and Mom kept paying them. And one day I said, I'm not going to pay him anymore. You know, you're going to get in trouble, you're going to get stopped, you're going to go to jail. Well, that's what happened. He went to jail. So we explained this to the younger grandkids. And on this particular day, our first date, Mike came over. His name is Mike, he's here. And he was early, and I gave him a glass of ice water, and he sat on one side of the sofa and I on the other. My 6-year-old grandchild comes flying out of the TV room, plopped down on the sofa, turned to Mike and said, "Hi, my name is Destiny. My Uncle Cardo's in jail." It was like graduation day for her, you know? It was something to be proud of. And I'm dying. I said, okay, here it goes. But he stuck with me. We're married and we're happy. So I remained as chief of staff for 2 years, and then a new mayor came in and they cleaned house. So from there, I went back to my home, which was the Lansing School District, and I returned as a community project specialist, which allowed me to continue the fine work that I did in the Hollister administration of creating strong programs for young people to succeed. Something that I learned and I love doing it, and I was very thankful for that time in the Hollister administration. So I went to work as a community project specialist for the Lansing School District. And so time went on, and I decided okay, it's time to retire. You know, I've been with the district, I've done this, I've done that, you know, I need to retire. So I gave 2 weeks notice, but during that 2 weeks, I got another knock, and when I said, who's there, they said, well, we're the retired senior volunteer program of Ingham, Eaton, and Clinton County. And we'd like for you to be our new executive director because ours is retiring. Will you come? So I said, okay. And I left the school district, I joined RSVP, and I was doing the same thing that I had done for many years, creating programs, not for young people anymore, but, well, 55, you're not too old, 55 and over, for making programs for those people to be successful. So I was in that capacity for 2 years when another knock knock comes. And this time, it was Mayor Andy Shore, the newly elected mayor, and he invited me to take up department. And I said to myself, way cool, which one? He said, HR. I gulped. I said, you mean HR like in human resources? He said, yeah. I said, well, can you give me a minute to think about it? So I went home and I spoke to my husband, I spoke to my kids, and I prayed. And I prayed a lot. And I spoke to them more. But what really came to me is, Linda, you raised 5 boys and 2 girls, mostly by yourself. And one of those girls turned your gray hair green. Do you really think that you can't handle HR? So I called and I told Mayor Shore that I would love to take that opportunity. So here I am today, HR Director for the City of Lansing under the Shore administration. And times have been very rewarding, but there have been very stressful times too. So stressful that at times, the other night, I had a dream. And in my dream, I was at work and I was going from meeting to meeting, but I felt that something was not right, but I didn't know what it was. And finally, Mayor Shore's office manager came to me and she said, Linda, you're inappropriately dressed. And when I looked down, I was flabbergasted because I was in my husband's long white t-shirt. But doggone it, my boots and my mask matched. So, it's really important. So I could go on and on with stories. But I should say, with the continued encouragement from Mayor Hollister and much support and the push from my husband, I did receive my bachelor's degree. My 7 children are all happy and successful, and I'm so very, very proud. Lastly, I want to say to you all to always open those doors that come knocking, because you need to remember that when the knock comes in, it can be maybe something funny or an opportunity or a challenge. But have faith, because those are open opportunities. So thank you all for allowing me this time.
Well, thank you, Linda. So I think we've all learned today that empowered women empower women, and that we should be open when the door knocks or the phone rings. Thank you to both our speakers today. So a couple of notes for you. If you have to leave us before we finish, we will be drawing the raffle tickets next. On your table are quotes from the speakers today. How many of our women here have all 21 quotes? Yeah, Mary does. So please take your quote cards home with you, as well as all of the goodies at your table. And I will say that the lovely flowers in the middle of your table should go home with the oldest member at your table. So. Okay, so Lucy, come on up. So our first Our first raffle today is for the Mary Kay purse, and it goes to Amanda Davis. Amanda, if you raise your hand, we'll bring it back to you. There you go. All right. And our second raffle today is for the Treat Yourself basket, and that goes to Susan Porritt. And our next is the Fun in the Sun bag, and that is going to Lynn DeCam. We have a gardening fun basket. I'm hoping whoever wins is a gardener. Dempha Krikorian. Yay. Congratulations. Oh, this is our Go Green basket. Thank you very much. That will go to our board chair, Bob McConnell. Next, we have our entertainment purse, and that will go to Christina Schmidgall. Congratulations. We have a sports bag, and that will go to Marie Armstrong. Could you put your hand up? Oh, right back there, Paula. We have a Vera Bradley weekend bag, and it's going home with Paula McKay. We have a Taste of the United Way of South Central Michigan Region bag, and that is going home with Lisa Fornwall. Okay. And our final basket is a charcuterie picnic, and it is going to Lynn Clark. So, congratulations to all of our winners. Thank you for everyone who came to the luncheon today. We hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'd like to thank you and invite you to be involved with United Way. Thanks, and have a great rest of your day.